Hey Alex, I got a dare for you. You know Frogger, right?
No, I
Yeah, you do.
don't. No, I don't.
How about playing some, 3D modern Frogger to get to the other side of the highway?
And what you can do when I splat?
Extra lives, man. So today we are going to Crystal Cove State Park. This is going to be our first true attraction ever since we got here to Newport Coast. So let's check it out. That's actually the resort where we're staying. So that same view that you see from the balcony is right here. Crystal Cove is a beautiful natural strip of land that runs along the coastal highway near Newport Beach. It stretches for several miles and was actually a former farming community that was actually made up of Japanese people. Quite interesting. Apparently during the war, World War II to be specific, they were abruptly rooted up, they left, and they abandoned their community and their homes as well. The modern day Crystal Cove is filled with natural trails, as well as a lot of restaurants and shops that have been placed down near Newport Beach in order to give it easy access for tourists and residents alike. What I did see a lot of was a lot of cyclists and a lot of runners and joggers who clearly seem to use this a lot for their exercising purposes. But for us, it was purely just low speed exploration. I keep thinking that I'm not really filming myself enough, and that's partly because I almost don't feel the need to really film myself here. The beauty more or less speaks for itself, and that applies to a lot of Southern Cali so far. Like, as somebody from, such a small island, and I've been thinking about this for like the last 2 days that we've been here, but as someone from such a small island where nothing much happens, the scenery hasn't changed much in so many years. to come to a place like this where there's just so much to see, so much infrastructure, so much natural beauty, the architecture and the way that it integrates with nature, just the layers of everything. It just feels so like, wow. It's like just wow. Like, this is really stimulating. And I mean, this isn't my first time on the West Coast, but I would consider this our first real West Coast trip. We did go to Vegas all the way back in 2007 when I was just a wee lad. And I remember bits and pieces of it. Like, we got to see Vegas, we got to see the Grand Canyon, and we got to see Beverly Hills and a bit of LA. But this is our first time like truly, really exploring the full-on West Coast, because Nevada obviously isn't on the coast. This is the West Coast. And I just have to say, like, so far I'm impressed, and it's only been 2 days, and this is our first real time outside truly experiencing an attraction. So I'm enjoying it. I don't know what else to say other than I'm enjoying it so far, and I feel like I'm a scratch record at this point, but so far there's nothing else to say other than I really, really like it here. Obviously, and I say this about every place, but every place has its pros and its cons. When you ask someone who's actually from the place that you're visiting, they'll either really love it and they'll think that it's the best place ever, or they'll be like somewhere in the middle where they're like, yeah, it's a cool place, but it has these problems. And then you have folks like me who, when it comes to the place that they're from, they're like, ugh, if I could leave tomorrow, I would. And everyone has a different reason for why they give those varied answers. And even a place like here, as impressed as I am by how it looks, by how it feels and everything, I'm sure I'll meet a few people, or I could meet a few people who would be like, yeah, it's not that special. Because, they're from here, they're used to it, they know the ins and the outs, they see the negatives and they see the positives, and they may not think that the positives outweigh the negatives. And then you'll have people on the flip side. That's the whole point. That's called varied opinions. But I know for someone like me, to stay in a place like here, not only would I be stimulated just by being in a place like here where there's so much to see and do, but if there's ever a time that I get bored of it or I feel like I need a quick change, you just pack up your car and drive. I mean, California is such a big state. This is just a tiny little bit of how massive this state is. So it's like, yeah, drive a few hours north and you're in a totally different part of the state that looks and feels and moves differently. Like, that is truly amazing to me, and it's something that, as a traveler, I absolutely love, but as an islander, I absolutely envy, because we can't really do it. We have to get off the island in order to experience something different. But for the folks who live here, or places like here, it's like, it truly is a special privilege that I hope that they really try their best to take advantage of. Man, good on you, Southern Cali, good on you. Let's see what else we can see. After we wrapped up our time at Crystal Cove and grabbed some lunch, we then made our way further south to check out the nearby settlements of Laguna Beach and Dana Point, which have this beautiful architecture. The term that we use to describe them are toy towns, because the way that the buildings look is so just fantastical in a way. It's like someone ripped them out of a storybook and just placed them there. Apparently a lot of movies were actually filmed here because of that beautiful backdrop, and the cities are also very clean, and the people clearly have a little bit of bank, because all you see driving around are BMWs, McLarens, Ferraris, Porsches, and the like. It's actually one of the most affluent areas in the whole United States, and you could clearly see it just from spending a few minutes just driving through these little towns. But what I did find interesting was how so many of the homes are either right on the seaside or nestled in the hills. That was really cool to see. It was a great visit, and if you're ever in Southern Cali, in Newport specifically, definitely come down and give it a try. I'd recommend it.